Okay, Hedbro Horsham, our Zoom sessions here. These are the two sheets that you want. I'm intending here to do two lessons on this, on what we just finished at the Zoom session last night. Will be discussed, and what I said, this is what I'd like you to work on, and what I said I'd like you to work on, I'll show you what you should concentrate on, and what you should clearly understand. So the first one is for clearly understanding, and the first thing I'm going to do is just this little lead-in that we do is, however you want to go. I think the very first thing I gave you was that, and what that is, what I'm doing there is I'm going from a G, and I hope that you can hear that that's the harmony that's behind that. That's a chord that's behind. So it starts off in G, and then goes down to this A. So Marco's very interested in this one. So what's happening there is, and what you really want to note is that this little box down here that we've encountered many, many times at this point is actually the bottom, it mirrors the bottom of this A chord. And so you could look on this as I'm taking this little section of this full A chord here. I'm taking this little section right here and then just going to these other two strings that seem to work. And why did they work? Well, they work because we have, and excuse me, did I say A? I mean G. We go to the A, but on the G here you have a G note at string 1, fret 3, and you have an A note, which is the second or the ninth, in this case, of the scale of G, the G major scale, and up here is the third of the G major scale, that's a B, and up here being string 3, fret 4, and at string 2, fret 3, we have the fifth. So here on string 1, I can go from root to second. On string 2, D to E, which is fifth to the sixth, and then here is the major third. And so I'm just playing around there with a flat third, and I won't go into that because we talked about that several times. And you know, to get familiar with this, you want to just fool around with it. I'm bending a note here, so what am I doing there? I'm just going from, here's the fifth, here's the sixth, the fifth being the D at 2/3, and the sixth being the E note at 2/5. So I'm bending that up to the sixth, and that's the dominant seventh at fret 7, this F note at string 2, fret 6. So I can go, and that note is not in the A major pentatonic, so I'll just play, here's the, or G major pentatonic, there we go again. So the G major pentatonic, what we have determined last night to call, no matter whether it's major or minor pentatonic, that this is pattern 1, pattern 2, or shape 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're at shape 2 in this major pentatonic scale of G. Shape 1 is this that we did last week and have done. That shape. And now we're making a shape for this E-shaped G chord. That's an E, move down a few, 3 actually, frets to G, and here is the shape that, the pentatonic shape that goes with that. And we're we're just using these first three strings, the bottom portion of this. That's the top portion, or the lower portion musically, and the first three strings are so yeah, I'm just resolving that to a G, but you hear how all that goes together, and that's what you want to get familiar with, you know, just to familiar with how those sounds all relate to one another. And then realize that when I move to A, I'm in the very same thing now. I'm playing this, what we agreed upon, shape 2. You know, the same type of stuff works. I have the second in the A major scale at string 1, fret 7. That's a B note. A note is at string 1, fret 5. So I can, if I want a real bright, you know, a real bright sound, I raise, I bring that up to the C sharp, which is the A major scale, first, second, third, do, re, mi, fa, etc. So I'm doing the same thing here. And if I parallel that down the way I started, the very first thing that I gave you on this, on an intro, I gave you that. Now I said, let's go down and use and explore these other positions. And I said, and this is where you're going to start your actual working on the guitar. However you want to start this, any way that you want to start it, but I will to keep it consistent, I will go, which is I'm playing the third, fifth, sixth, bent to 7, back to the fifth, and ending it on the third, and then sliding that third down to third, all in the key of G, for the chord of G, the scale of G. Now I'm going to move down to the scale of A to satisfy this shape number 2, and I come. That's what I would normally do. But I said, let's go and find the next A. Now we get into the meat of what I want you to do is you always want to find that root note. We're playing everything. I kept this intro for you all in A, so you had a chance to explore around an A. So let's explore around now in A. Where are the A notes? Well, when you come down to this, you know that when you're in this position, the A's are string 6, string 1, and they're at the same fret. In this case, we're playing an A, so this string 6 fret 5 note is A, and that means in standard tuning, which we're in, that string 1 fret 5 is also an A. We know that. And then if we apply, I believe we called this the Dave Kramer corollary last night, which it will forever be. So we go down, we go down, that means geographically, so I always say, we just go south, right, on two strings, and then we go right, that means this way, we go right, sorry you left-handers, but we go right to find the same note, whatever it is, an octave away. Here's the C, A, B, A, C, D, however, but they're an octave away, always, every time when you're in standard tuning, and that's very important and helpful to orient yourself on the guitar. And so now we have an A, string 6, fret 5, we have an A, an octave higher than string 6, fret 5, we have one at string 5, fret 7, and we have another octave higher at string 1, fret 5. They're all A notes. That's important. But we're gonna do this. Here's your, and we're gonna go down to this A. How do I know that A was there? by counting, not through any magic of music that are known only to the Dalai Lama and whoever. It's just counting. I have an A here, and I know that we tune 5. So when you tune this, you're tuning this string 2, fret 5, string 1 open, and I just count 2, 3, 4, 5. That brings me to this A, and when I'm at this A, we have two. When you have the root note on string 2, there are 2 formations that are associated with that. That would be this D. That's the major chord that's associated with the second string root. And the other chord that's associated with the second string root is a C-shaped chord. So this C shape now yields me an A chord. This D shape yields me a D chord. And let's go up this and just do a little validation. Up here you have a D chord, and string 2, fret 3 is a D. I hope you know that by sight now. And when I make this formation of chord behind it, then I have the 5th that's on string 3, and I have the 3rd that's on string 1. And when I say, don't pick your guitar up with this, just follow me, pause it and validate anything that I say, and you will see that in this formation of a D chord, D major chord, the string above on the guitar, higher geographically, is the 5th, and the one below is the 3rd. So I'm down here, and I have the very same thing. I have A, that's the root note, and up above I have the 5th, and that would be the 6th, 2 away from it. And besides this A, I have another A up here at string 5, fret 12, which of course you know, because string 5 open is an A, and at the double dots, an octave higher, you have an octave higher of A. A. So they're the 2 A's in this formation. This formation being this formation that looks like a C. So they're just notes in this shape. I'm just playing around with the notes in that shape. They all come out from that shape. I'm not thinking, okay, I'm playing the root here, and then just when you get familiar with the shape, you can just move it around, and it becomes, you want to have it as automatic as possible, just that your fingers know those little patterns right here. The other shape is going left on the guitar here, and that's what we call the dentist shape, because he's the one that identified this last night as a D chord, and it's the weird shaped one. And we're not going to actually use that per se, but I do want to point out that this is the border on string 4, fret 7. That's the border line between shape 2, which is, and shape 3, which is, and string 4, fret 7 is in both shape 2 and shape 3. And shape 3, if I want to validate that, that's my validation that I've always given you guys. It should sound like My Girl, and lo and behold, it does. So, and then Magnet is drawing it back to that A note, and that A note is, you found it for this chord and this shape, and it's still there, it's an A note. And then applying another corollary of the Dave Kramer rule, we know that if I want to find the octave higher than whatever note I'm playing here on string 4, then I go down 2 strings, and I go right 3 frets, and I end up with string 2, fret 10. See, this validates no matter how you want to check, it will come out to the same. It will come out to the same place. As I said, if it didn't, bridges would fall because our entire mathematics system is screwed up. If that's the case. So it will always see. I can go. Here's a B, here's a B flat, and there's an A, and that's the A. And I can go left 3 frets, and then up 2 strings, and that's an A, an octave lower. So all of this, and if you validate it each and every way as you go through, you'll really start to gain confidence that you're in the right spot. So that's why I said don't put the guitar up. That'll be the next video coming shortly. So we have this, and we'll be using that the entire shape is, you can follow it on here. It'll be shape 4, and it's shaped like the it's shaped like a C chord, and in this case it's A because it's this C moved all the way down. You can validate that C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. When you get down to here, it's going to be A, and the A root is going to be at string 5, and the other root, the root note, it's not really the root of the chord, but the other one, the other A will be at string 2, fret 10. So you have that. We know one more shape here that we'll be using in this next video, and that is the, as we now call it, the Matt Tetra-shaped. You have all those notes, always like that little box, because you can use anything in here chromatically. It all works. But let's do some counting again. We already know we have an A at string 2, fret 10. And notice amidst all of this, one theme keeps coming through: find that root note. Find the root note. Where are all the A's that I've done? And knowing where those A's are will give you the shape. So you have string 2, fret 10. And now you want to count 4 back on string 3 to find this A, because string 2 is tuned 4 frets away, not 5 notes as all the other strings are. So we have, string 2, fret 10. You can just add 4 to 10, you'll come out to 14. I'll bet that's where we end up on string 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's string 14. At string 14, string 3, fret 14, we have the A note that is associated with Matt's Tetra-shaped. And the A is here at string 314, as I said. Again, applying the Dave Kramer rule, corollary, we come 2 frets left and 2 strings north, and we have the other A, which of course is not surprising. We found this on the last shape, and it's the A at string 5, fret 12, same as string 5 open. So the shape for this is, as you'll see in this handout, that's the shape that we're going to be using, but we're going to be working basically only on strings 1, 2, and 3. That's the overview. First thing, find all the A's. We did that, and so let's do something, and just I'll give you a couple examples and a couple ways to go, and then you can come up with your own little intros. Okay, see you next one.